Hello, hello, friends. Happy Halloween. Welcome to this special episode of Platinuming Games where we are platinuming Observer System Redux, a spooky game. Let's get into it with our first trophy here. And I kind of goofed, as you can probably tell. I had to go into my PlayStation 5's automatic save trophy clip for this first clip. And that trophy is called I Am an Observer. That's for completing your first Dream Eater sequence. I wasn't actually planning on platinuming this game, except I accidentally played it on my trophy hunting profile, so I kind of had to. Our second trophy there is called Outbreak. That's for finding 10 nanophage patient cards. Wow, that was hard for me to say. There are a lot of collectibles in this game, and this game can be very glitchy and annoying with a lot of the side quests in this, like, definitive edition type thing, because um, yeah, I don't know. The third trophy is called Tears in the Rain. That's for witnessing the lost moment. Yeah, Observer System Redux is like a definitive edition. So I was trying to say. Um, the original version is called just Observer, and this one adds a few more trophies, a few more side quests, which totally screwed me over when I was working on the my second playthrough, which was the playthrough where I tried getting all the collectibles. Because for one of the trophy or one of the collectibles, you can completely screw it up if you activate something a little too soon. That wasted like 3 hours, and I had to restart a whole playthrough, and it was awful. Besides that, this is a pretty good, fun, quick, little spooky-ish type game. There's not many jump scares. There's a few creepy, scary moments. As you can probably tell by now, it's kind of like cyberpunk-esque type horror game. Definitely worth a try if you haven't played it or even heard of it. That trophy's called It's a Trap, and that's for surviving Adam's trapware. And actually, these next two trophies are for completing our first playthrough. Like I said, there are a lot of trophies for collectibles, and throughout my first playthrough, I did not get like any of them. So as you can see here, we're getting our first ending. You get two endings, or you have to get two endings. It's platinum, and we're getting our first ending here, which we got by rejecting Adam, which is our son. It's a really weird ending. If you want to go see it, go check out my playthrough on the game, because this is the ending I got in that playthrough. This game is really weird. It kind of doesn't make sense for half of the game, but then it'll finally make sense halfway through the game. I don't know. It's a good game though. But we get our trophy right about there, called A Death in the Family, Reject Adam, and then we get another trophy called Unbreakable, and that's for finishing the game without dying, which was actually a lot easier than it sounds because I did two playthroughs and didn't die once. Then on to our second playthrough here. This is right at the beginning of the game where we just have to talk to a bunch of people. And then I learned in this playthrough that you can literally just skip through dialogue, so I was just spamming as fast as I can. Right here, I'm probably checking my little guide on collectibles to see if I'm missing anything quite yet. Quite yet. A lot of the things don't become unmissable until way later in the game, which is very nice. But there are a few sequences where you can miss things, and if you miss one thing, you'll have to do it all over again. So you have to be very weary about that in this game. And we got a trophy there called KPD Open Up. That's for interrogating 20 tenants. As you can see, I got a collectible there. We're gonna have to collect like 80 something of those throughout the game, and that's the hardest thing to collect. But as we scan these few things, we get another trophy called Obsessive, which is for analyzing 100 objects. Not too hard if you're paying attention and just scanning everything, you'll get it pretty quickly. And here we are with a special little side quest. The side quests in this game, I didn't really realize how many side quests there were until I was doing this trophy hunting, because during my first playthrough I did like none of them. But here I'm trying to debate which ending I kind of want to get, and I decide to get that one. But we get a trophy either way called Body Snatcher, Decide the Fate of the Merging Minds. And now, as we are a cop in this game, or an observer, which observers work for the police departments in this game, we decide to you know, find out who is selling drugs. I mean, we already know who is selling drugs, but we're trying to figure out why they're selling drugs, like what they're doing to sell drugs, because the person who's selling drugs is a really big and important person in this game. So we go talk to the people who are buying drugs off of him. As you can probably see, they're kind of getting mad at us. Sometimes I say this, but I've said this before, but I have to keep some longer clips in, or else if I cut them too short, it'll just start in the middle of a sentence. And like right here, I can't just, start in the middle of the sentence. I try to do that as little as possible, but bear with it. We got it done there, and that trophy's called Drug Trail. Interrogate Amir's clients. And here is when I realized I completely screwed up. So I'm like, okay, let me just get this trophy out of the way, and then I'll just restart. Wasted like 3 hours of my life because I messed up one little thing. But we get our trophy there for or that's called Altered States, and that's for overdosing on synchronization pills. And now we're on to, I mean, technically our third playthrough. Um, the third or the second one we're gonna finish, but the third I've started, and we're a little bit later into the game now. Since that last trophy and this trophy, I had to restart obviously and just get so many collectibles. So there hasn't been many trophies, but we're gonna finish one of the collectible trophies right here. Picking up this little RC car, and that trophy is called A Work in Progress. Find all RC cars and recall a memory of Adam. And this really creepy clip, I'm gonna warn you, this is really weird. Um, but at least we get a trophy, so it's not kind of, it's definitely worth it. Um, but this is probably my favorite scene throughout the entire game, and probably one of the scariest and creepiest. I love it. It's so just random. Like I don't know how this is possible. But as soon as we exit this computer, um, the things are gonna get scary and weird. Yeah, these mannequins are gonna come to life. These really weird looking mannequins. One's gonna hop out at us right there. It's gonna scream, and they're all just gonna fall over, and we can leave. And I get out there as fast as I possibly can, as you can see, and I'm just gonna slam the door on them. But we get a trophy called Errant Signal, which is for finding the source of the distress call. I mean, I would have, if I was whoever lived in there, I would definitely be making those distress calls like every single day. I don't know how people like I don't know that was the weirdest thing ever. Um, but throughout the game, you'll find computers, uh, which have these little mini games on them. And for this trophy, you have to complete every single mini game. I think there's 17 in total. I don't know. We'll see at the end, but 17 in total, I believe. In the original, there was only 10, and some of these can be very, very long. And I'm just very smart, so I figured all of these out by myself. I wasn't totally looking at a video and just following it step by step for each of these levels. Definitely not. No, I was. I definitely was, and I would recommend doing that too because these levels are hard. Like the first like 2 or 3 levels are easy. The rest of them are so hard. And as you can see here, I have to make so many weird movements and so many weird things that you would just not expect to be able to beat this level. The way you beat these levels is, or these levels are getting all the coins and then getting to the little wizard or whatever it is down at the bottom. As you can see, that blue little thing right next to these spiders. And we're about to finish it up here. There we go. Give her our coins. We get a trophy called Noble Sword, which is completing all the Fire and Sword Spiders arcade games. Ooh, what a mouthful. Later on, we go into this basement of sorts, and we see this weird pig organism-looking thing that's being like harvested for its organs. And we get a few choices. I decide to just save it, or put it out of its misery, basically. And we get a trophy for Lord of the Harvest. That's for deciding the fate of the organ farm. And there's a dead person in the wall there. We actually just connected into their memory to see kind of like what happened to them, which is a running theme throughout the game. You'll connect into a lot of people's memories to see like their last moments, and it's really trippy and really weird. It's hard to explain. You just have to experience or watch it for yourself. But we get a trophy when we exit there called Her Fearful Symmetry, and that's for finding out the lover's fate. another trophy for a side quest. You also had to connect into somebody's memory for this. It is somebody who hung themselves in their rooms, and I decided to, or you have to respond to their daughter, who apparently was struggling with kind of the same things as her father. But I did have to start this sentence in the middle of this clip because it was way too long. Like, this letter is way too long. um, we finish up our letter there. We get our trophy. It runs in the family. That's for finding out the true reason behind the hanged man's death. Now we're in this mind sequence thing near the end, where in the mind of the killer, the main killer, the main bad dude, but we walk up to this little grave there and get a trophy called By Any Other Name. And that's for finding all roses and discovering the final resting place. Quite possibly the funniest trophy and funniest sequence throughout the game is right here. You try to connect into your son's mind, and he has these passwords or these locks in front of it, and they're just video games. Like, so I'm just running around avoiding the Tetris blocks that are falling above me. And we get our trophy there, Voxel Runner. That's for earning 3,000 points during a single trapware run. Ooh, that was a mouthful. And now we're actually in the last sequence of the game. We have to run through this little, this building to finish up the game and put our son's memory into some sort of computer. I don't know, it's really confusing. But we find this little radio, we play it, and get the trophy, The Root of All Evil, and that's for find and listen to all patient interview recordings. Like I said, there's a lot of collectibles. And finishing up the hardest and most confusing and the most annoying collectible in the game, pick that up. We get the trophy Pandemic, find all nanophage patient cards in a single playthrough. There's like 80 or so, and there's a lot of them are missable. It's very, very annoying. But here we are finishing up our second full playthrough, choosing the second option, which is embracing Adam instead of rejecting him. And as you can see, we're kind of freaking out right now. Our entire body's freaking out, trying to fight Adam off, but you really can't fight him off because he has some sort of virus or something. I don't know. The endings are confusing. I should really do some more digging and reading about the endings because it's a really weird game, but very interesting and fun. But we walk into the light to finish off our second playthrough and to get our third to last trophy, which should pop any second now. Come on. Come on. I could have cut this clip down. There we go. The prodigal son. I don't know why I'm struggling with words today, but that's for embracing Adam. And then I missed one trophy on accident, but we're gonna get it here. I just loaded a save, and once we put that there, we'll get a trophy called Code Breaker, and that's for decrypting Adam's figurine. Then we get our platinum trophy called Observer. Let me do my little dancey dance right there. Celebrate. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this platinuming video on Observer. If you guys enjoyed, subscribe. Stay tuned for other platinuming videos and other games I'm going to be playing in the future. Like God of War Ragnarok is coming out. I'm so excited for that. It's only like a week and 2 days away. I am ecstatic. So stay tuned for that. Leave a like if you want. And yeah, have a great day, guys.